What's it really like selling your house and hitting the road full time as a family in an RV? We're going to give you our honest review after almost a year on the road.
We're Morgan, Chris, Jonah, and Jude. We ditched the 9 to 5 to spend more time with each other after years of missing out.
We're exploring every state in the U.S., creating experiences that bring us closer together the further we step outside of our comfort zones.
Where are we now?
Hi, Explorers! Greetings from
Michigan.
We are about halfway through our journey to visit every single state in the United States. We've hit 23, and Michigan's our home state, so we are about halfway there, and we thought we'd take some time to reflect and really give you our honest opinion about the pros and cons of full-time RV life. And we will start with the cons. We'll start with the bad. Starting off, we're a little sick, if you cannot tell. So we'll talk about that, being sick on the road. Honestly, it hasn't been that big of an issue. I think the little things, we go to places like urgent care, we have had to go to the ER once when we were in Texas, and it's really just for things like that. I just don't think it's that big of a deal. However, for things that are ongoing, that need a little bit more care, like Jonah had an issue when we were in Wyoming and then Colorado, and we saw different doctors in those states, and I just don't think that anybody's really going to measure up to the quality of your primary care doctor that really knows you.
Maintenance. RVs weren't built to be lived in full time, so things definitely break and need a bit more care and extra love on the road. So we've had some incidences. We've smashed the back of our truck window with our RV. And our
broken glass.
What we were towing with completely died on us, and we needed a whole new truck. And even things like the flooring that we put in has come apart, and we need to re-glue things, and our projector screen has fallen down a few times, hitting those hard bumps.
However, I think that the repairs on an RV are easier, at least the ones that we've encountered, to make than they are in a house. We had an old house, and I feel like fixing things up in a house is just a lot more intricate than it is an RV. We've looked a lot of things up on YouTube, and Chris, we've been like so good about just figuring things out on the fly.
If you need to figure something out, YouTube is the way to go. Absolutely. Boondocking. We do boondock from time to time when we are on long travels. We have to break it out of a harvest host, and we do not have a big enough generator to run our air conditioning, and we do not have a solar hookup. As much as I would love that, we do not have that. I don't have the time or probably even the space to put it on the roof right now. And so when we do those boondocks, we do not have the AC, and it can get a little bit toasty in there, especially in the summer. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but it is nice to break up those long travel days. The cost. I'm pretty sure there's a common misconception that RV living is cheaper than owning a home in some cases, but definitely not for us. We've had some hiccups. We've had to buy a new truck. We've had to fix windows. The cost of staying at a campground each week. The cost of gas. The cost of food. The cost of insurance for your vehicle. The cost of consistent internet, yeah. All these things add up, and for us it's more expensive to do
far more
RV life on the road.
I think personally one of the biggest cons to the lifestyle is just having to say goodbye. It's so hard. This is kind of like a double-edged sword though. So for the kids, they make so many friends. They have friends in almost every state that we've been to, and they stay in touch with a lot of them, and they really enjoy getting to meet a variety of people. And for us, we've met some amazing people too. However, it's so hard because they get really attached, and then the goodbyes at the end of the week are just really hard. So not having that like stability of being able to connect with the friends that you make like in person, I think it can be hard. Which leads us into the good. So the community is amazing. I think that we found a lot of people that share a lot of the similar values that we have, and that's pretty consistent throughout all of our travels. I think that the RV community in general is cool, the traveling community, they just seem to share a lot of ideals and really supportive of the lifestyle that we're living.
Not only that, I think they've been like very quick to help. So if we have things that we don't know, we were completely new to this lifestyle. So if we had things that we were unsure about, or if something broke, we've had a lot of people help us in some situations, or like give us tips or hints on what we can do. And so I think just the helpfulness, like everyone is so quick to help, I've noticed as well on the road, which is awesome.
World schooling. For us, world schooling has been really amazing. So for Jonah, our older son, we do a virtual school. So we do have a curriculum, which is really great, and we stay in touch with his teachers. And the academy that he's at, Life Tech, they are so good about being flexible and letting us check in when we have time to check in and do our assignments when we can. And then we take what we are learning and then we're able to apply them in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Like we were learning about the desert and in social studies, and we just happened to be in Arizona. So it just made it a lot more tangible and real for the kids. And I think it's just more of a, I don't know, how do you explain it? Like a more like...
I think just physically seeing things and learning about things that they can touch and see right in front of them on the road is incredible. They're just, I mean, you don't forget those things when you're traveling full time. Like you don't. He was learning about manatees while we were swimming with manatees, and like he's not going to forget those facts. He was there doing it.
And then for our younger son, who's like preschool age, he's getting a great education by learning not only from what Jonah is doing academically, but then all the things that we're also doing in the adventures that we have every week.
Tiny living.
Now there are definitely some times when I wish we had a little bit more space. I know you're comfortable with the space
Yeah,
that
it
we
doesn't
have,
bother me at all.
but there are some times I really do wish we had a bit more space. Just, you know, to be cooking is definitely one. It's such a small little space.
But we do it outside a lot.
I do try to do it outside, but if it's raining or something like that, it's hard to do that. So I wish for cooking purposes we had a bit more space, and just I know the kids have a lot of toys that like to bring with us, you know, because you know, just there's little things that I wish we had just a little bit more space.
To me, I just view it as the outdoors. It's like we're always at these really cool places, and a lot of times the campgrounds will have really nice playgrounds or pools, and it never feels small to me because we try to get outside as much as possible.
And there is also a plus to having the smaller RV. I guess it's a good thing. We probably wouldn't have been able to go to half the places we've been to with this RV because bigger trucks, bigger RVs,
27 feet.
They do have some issues getting into some campgrounds. And so we're fortunate that we can take this a lot of places and explore the things that we've done.
We can go on some pretty dangerous roads that we'd probably fall off of otherwise. Minimalism. So this lifestyle has really encouraged us to really downsize and prioritize the things that we have. And I really enjoy knowing that any outfit that I pick out is going to match, regardless of what shirt I pick, what bottom I pick, and my shoes. It's all gonna look okay together. And for the kids, the whole toys, we're still working on that. We probably have way more, and we've accumulated way too much stuff as far as toys. But I think it still gets them to like see it as prioritization. They get to like see it in that lens that we pick what's important and we prioritize experiences instead of things. And it's so cool that it's different from how I grew up. So it's really cool that we're able to raise them that way. I would not have it any other way. I absolutely love this lifestyle. We would not be able to go to the places that we've gone and see as many places as we've seen if we had a house and we were just doing this on the weekend or taking like a couple weeks off a year. It just wouldn't happen. So I'm absolutely hooked and I love it and I recommend it to everybody because I think it's the best ever and I never want to settle down. Ever. So we have a lot of maintenance to do still because we've been sick, we haven't got to it, and we still have to explore a place in Michigan. So keep those recommendations coming in the comments, please, because we still want to plan one epic adventure for our home state and we want to do it justice. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
My favorite thing about traveling was the manatees. What I love about traveling is that there's parks, pools, I meet friends in every single state, and I get to spend time with my family.